Hey guys, Vampix is here, and today I want to show you my build up or my Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc Deck Profile after Synchro Storm. I will play this deck and the Evil Twin deck for the upcoming format because I don't want to spend the money for the Sword Souls, and I want to buy like staples for that kind of money, like droplets and everything, because I think this deck is really nice. And when I buy my staples, I can just put them in both, so that's better for me. And I have them for the future, even though I like the Sword Soul deck a lot. I like this deck also because this has not like always a linear like line of gameplay, because it has more versatility to go into boards, and this has a high board breaking potential just with the inherent Lyrilusc cards. So yeah. So I think let's start. This is the deck I played yesterday at Locals. I went 3-2. That is pretty bad. Last Locals I also played it there, but without the new cards. There I went like 5-0, so it was better. But this time I lost against myself because of bricking twice in one match. And the second time I lost against Mystic Mine and time. I had the outs, but then time was called. I only have needed one more turn. This was so bad. But yeah, this is the game, so I will not complain about that. Let's start with the main deck. This is the exact deck how I played it yesterday, but I will tell you something about it. I think I will change a little bit of the list. But yeah, let's start with the Tri-Brigade engine. So I played the Barrier Statue, so this is why I played the spell of the Tri-Brigades, but basically 3 Fractal. This is like one of the best starters in this deck because this has most versatility. It can go into your Tri-Brigade engine, it can go into your Lyrilusc engine, because this only has to dump some kind of Tri-Beast and not like a Tri-Brigade. Then we have the normal Nerval. This is the best one in combination of searching, because this one can search, like you can search this one with the Lyrilusc engine and then special also. And then this is an extender for the Tri-Brigade engine, because you can just discard the Lyrilusc you don't need, and this is a kit for the spell. But this is also like dumping some kind of more names for the Tri-Beast engine. If you like play through boards, this is sometimes important. So I think this is the perfect ratio for this kind of deck. I never missed one or never needed more, so I think this is the perfect ratio in this case. Because I played like the Barrier Statue engine. I like this. I played against Eldritch, and like I only summoned this and it outs them completely. He only played Dragoon, Eldritch, and like this traps to special summon monsters, so I just could normal summon this and attack every game, like every time, because if I don't summon anything, he cannot out this with Tarantula or something, and I just poked him. That's so nice. But I think going forward I will cut this engine and just play an Apex Avian. Because I think because you can play the new XYZ, the Ensembled Robin, I think it's called in English. The Robin card. This one basically is a statue for every combo deck, because like you can just bounce 3, 4, 5 times, and it basically does the same, because no combo deck can play through 5 bounces basically. So and then for every other deck the Apex Avian is better. I think I will cut it, and I also don't have to play the brick then. I will try it out. I already tried it. I like the Apex Avian, and let's see it going forward. Then 3 Warbler. It's the best of the like starters in this deck, because you can just special summon it from hand if you control the monsters, and then 1 more Lyrilusc from hand or graveyard. The one you want to like special summon the most is the Cobalt Sparrow. No, not Cobalt something. I don't know how it's called in English, because you have also this one. I think it's Cobalt Sparrow. This on special summon, this one adds you some kind of level 1 winged beast monster. So you can add Nerval, you can add some Lyrilusc stuff, you can add DD Crow. It's also very nice. So I think this one's really good. At 2 it's fine. You can either go on a more heavy Lyrilusc build, a more heavy Tri-Brigade build, or like hand trap wise, and I like hand traps having my deck because it feels me more secure. But yesterday I saw that like the inherent cards are so good at board breaking that I might bump up this to 3 and then also bump the blue up to 2 or 3. Speaking of the blue one, I play only one because you only want to search it. You like rarely want to see it in hand because this one needs a card on field to play. You can also say, yeah, this one is also like that, but this is a follow-up. If you like, if your Link 3 survives, if your Simurgh survives, you can just special summon the second one from deck and add another card for the next turn, which makes like playing turn 3 so much easier. Yeah, you can bump this up to 2, no problem. Maybe also to 3 if you play a more heavy variant of it, of the Lyrilusc. Then I played 2 Barrel Canary. This is like normally your last card you want to play, so this one locks you into XYZ summoning, and this one can make Robin. This card can make OTK's life. This card makes that your monster cannot switch to the opponent. So yeah, it's a very, very strong card, and it's like one card with setup. So yeah, and then I only play one of the gray ones, so this Celestine. You only need one basically. A lot of people don't see it, but you can go through a combo like making the Ferrigit and special summon this one from head at your bird call, and then at this one, and go with this and your with your Ferrigit into the Simurgh. So this is a very good line of play. So you basically only need one. This one attaches from graveyard, which is really nice, so I hate banishing it. But yeah, I think this one is enough. But like I said, if I bump this up to 2, I might, or to 3, I might bump this one to 3 and might bump this one to 2. So yeah, this is basically the Lyrilusc engine. And then we have only like power cards and hand traps, which is like the other half of the deck basically. So we play like the Foolish Burial, we play the Tanky, and we play the 1/1. So like 3 power cards which are at 1 for the Fractal basically, and then special summons everything you need to, the Nerval, the Lyrilusc stuff, so nice. This one gives you a setup or follow up with Nerval or the Lyrilusc engine. Then 3 of the new spell, the Bird Call. This card is amazing. It's like, it does so much for the deck. Sometimes you like, for example, if you played Nibiru, this card allows you to special summon the Warbler from hand and then activate its effect, which is like necessary if you Nibiru the opponent. It bumps something into the graveyard, and then you can use Warbler. Even though I never do this, I just put the most of the stuff into my hand, except I want to play around Droll. So if I don't need the card in hand, I drop it into the graveyard, and then if I think that opponent has Droll, this is like a way to play around it, so I can add Nerval, and then yeah, basically play around Droll a little bit at least. Yeah, then I play 2 Whereof though. I don't like to play Desires in this deck because I don't like to banish my one-offs. This was my like thinking or my line of play, and I didn't want to banish the Barrier Statue, so I play, because I don't have Prosperities, I play Whereof though. If you have Prosperities, I would play the Prosperities over this card, but yeah, because I don't have them, I just don't play it. And this card is also like searching everything you want to search. You can search hand traps with it, like Veiler, DD Crow. You can search the Droll and the Mirror Match. You can search like so much stuff, except your Lyrilusc or Nerval. Then I played 2 Dark Ruler. I might bump this up to 3 because like this card, I like to draw into the 6th card and do something with it. So this card's out heavy combo boards, and you can play like, you can set up your whole board and killing the opponent's board completely with your deck with follow-up and everything. So yeah, I might bump this up to 3, but it's also I play like against hand traps, I play 1 Called by the Grave and 2 crossouts. I have the 3rd crossout on the side, so yeah, I like to play 5 in total with 2 Triple Tactics talents. So yeah, I just like to have 5 cards against the against hand traps and stuff on the board. So that's why I had to play like so many one-offs or hand traps. I play 1 Imperm, 1 DD Crow because it's searchable, 1 Veiler, 1 Nibiru, 1 Droll, and 2 Ash. I think Ash is the most versatile hand trap, that's why I'm playing 2 of it, but you might just cut it to 1 and play the 3rd Dark Ruler no more. But basically it's 6 hand traps, so this is most versatile, and all hand traps are pretty good in this format, at least as long as not many people playing like back row decks. I know the format just started, so a lot of people tend to go to Eldritch or something, but since this deck came out and it's like so cheap, I think that a lot of people will play this deck and draw such a good hand trap against this deck. Yeah, and basically every hand trap can do something against them. This can at least this one can stop Barrel Canary. This one can stop like the Warble if it tries to special summon from grave. So yeah, at least it does something. So yeah, you need to play it. This was the main deck. I think it's 41 cards. Like I said, you can. I will cut the stature with the other one. Play Apex Avian, so I have 40. But maybe I will just put another card like Dark Ruler or a 3rd Wear Out though, to have a little bit more consistency. Even though I think Wear Out though is not once per turn. I think no, it's not once per turn. So you can also activate multiple. And then for crossout, basically 1 Lance, even though this card isn't as good against you. So yeah, I think a lot of people don't know how to like this deck works, and they just see the Tri-Brigade engine, and then like they are like, well, okay, I play Lancia, so just to have it. Also Lancia stops you evenly, which is bad, kind of. Still I play evenly because I think it's a lowered card against Eldritch. Second roll, also just because of this deck. I like to have it. And then Simorg for the statue play, to have it against back row. They cannot set anything, so yeah, it's really hard to out the card. Then I play 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, best back row removal. Let's do it at the end. I play 2 Lightning Storms, so yeah, and then I play also 2 evenly matched, so 5 back row cards in total, I think. Yes. Yeah, I might bump the Lightning Storm up to 3. You can also play Twin Twister, but you mostly like to have your cards in hand. It's not like the Tri-Brigade pure deck list where you can just dump something and it doesn't really matter. In this deck you want to have every card in your hand, because every card in your hand is some kind of a bait to a back row. So yeah, like they have to negate something, and then it does pretty much the same. But yeah, I tried the ratio, it was fine, but I want to play 6 card in case of back row. What I totally forgot was the Red Reboot, so I definitely would play Red Reboot in this deck. It's amazing. Yeah, then since we hate playing against combo, we play Mystic Mine. This deck can OTK under Mystic Mine, so yeah, better just play it. Also, what I thought, this deck also loses to Mystic Mine if you go second and don't have the Apex Avian. I lost 1 whole match against Mystic Mine because he activated 3 Mystic Mines in 3 games, but with the trap also. So like game 1 he activated Mystic Mine, I played against Altergeist, I had no out in my deck, so I scooped. Then the second game I sided Imperial Order, back row removal, and also a card like Oath. I just wanted it to have against like Dark Ruler and stuff if you go first. So yeah, I sided the Oath, I negated the Mystic Mine, then I OTK'd him. And game 3 he also Mystic Mined me. I sided 2 mines in with my crossouts, but I draw both mines and 2 crossouts, so I couldn't stop mine even though I had full combo in hand. And he only had mine, so I would have won that, but then lost in time. This was pretty sad. Yeah, and like the 3rd crossout just for going first, and then 1 Imperial Order and the last Dark Ruler. Imperial Order, really nice card. You possibly could play it in the main, but you play a lot of spells, so I don't like to play it in the main. 3rd Dark Ruler, I have no droplets. I would play 3 Dark Ruler, 3 droplets if I have them. Also for this tournament, my 3 Harpies Featherstorm weren't there. I definitely would make some space for the Feathers of Storm, because it's like, even though you can just normal summon any monster, it just like locks the opponent out of pretty much doing anything in their turn. It's really, really good in that instance for going first. This deck is really, really fun to play. Try it out if you have time and money for it. It's not that expensive. And then for the extra deck, pretty easy. We play 1 Robin, 2 of the Stars, and 1 of the Independent Nightingale. You need 2 for the whole combo. This one has a neat OTK, and also it's main going into for Zeus. And this one is your starting play. You could sometimes play 3 of this because it would come up, but what I also missed was the Thrush with bouncing a hand trap, with bouncing a back row, because some opponents just set 1 back row and this was the only card I had to play around, and I could have just made the Thrush, bounce it, and even if it was a Torrential Tribute, I would have lost otherwise, or I couldn't go into my full combo OTKing, and Thrush would have made it possible. So you might think, or I tried to try to make space for Thrush, but it's like the extra deck is pretty tight. The Utopic Future package, also starting board, this ensures that you can play through Nibiru. My opponent Nibiru'd me yesterday one time, like I'm at my full board, he impermed this and then Nibiru'd me, and I was like, shit. And then Zeus, because you can make it. It's a good card. 1 Almirage. Like even though you're only playing 1 kit and the Nervals, there's nothing much else you want to go into for this one, but it comes up, or at least with this variant, it came up just to have in the combo. You could just make this to get the kit into the graveyard, because you could search it with Nerval, normal summon it, make this, and then put the spell engrave, and like you could also this comes up like also if you don't have that much cards in hand to play, you and you have your Nerval, it got negated, you can link it away, get a Karis, special some Karis, and like combo forward. So it comes up, you definitely need to play this. Dragon Lords, because you can play it, I like made it once or twice the whole tournament, so I don't know if I will play it further on. It's a good card. Maybe I have to learn more about this card, like how to play it, but it's a link 2 with like some kind of interruption, and this comes up. 1 Ferjit, part of your starting combo, really good, like fixing in your hand, like in fixing your hands. It's like, yeah, Ferjit is a really good card. You have to play it in this deck. 1 Link 3. This is basically only for Access Code Talker. I never made it that it's relevant in any other case. You could also make Omen, this one, then special something from Grave and activate Omen. But this is only for Access Code Talker, and if I don't play Access Code, I will maybe cut this. 1 of the Simorgh, also starting play, really good card. And then 2 Omens and 1 Access Code Talker. Like I borrowed the Access Code Talker, so yeah, I was playing it yesterday, but the Access Code Talker only came up once, so I'm thinking about cutting it just because I want it, but it's expensive right now. Maybe it will be much cheaper after maximum gold, but I think of cutting both and then playing a little bit more heavy variant of the Lyrilusc, so playing 1 Thrush, maybe a second Zeus, yeah, just something else which comes up. So yeah, but this was the deck. Try it out, it's pretty fun, and then I will see you next time.